I'm hoping it won't be too hard to find. Don't look at the other boxes down here. I believe this might be it. Success. There we go. All right, let's see what we got in here. It's a good one to start with. So this is the boot that I scored the first goal for Canada with in 1986 when we played the US. It's, you know, got a few different cleats on there, a couple holes. We played all the time in England. My dad would come home from work and head out to the field and play with all the neighborhood kids, all boys, all older than me, so I really learned how to get rid of the ball quickly, not hang on to it too long. And here I was asked by my aunt if I wanted to play soccer, which to me was foreign because we called it football. That was the first team I played on. It was ages 8 to 18 all together, and yeah, it was great. That was the beginning of my soccer career here in Canada. So let's take a look to see what's in here from 86. It's very neatly organized, as you can tell. Here we go. So this was the first team.
Hello and welcome to Blaine, Minnesota for continuation coverage of the USA Cup 1986, and we've got a very special game on tap for you this time because it's a team between the US national women's team and the Canadian national women's team.
We were selected from a tournament in Winnipeg where all the provincial teams had a team. We went and competed in the tournament, and then from that they selected 20 players. We had a little mini 2-day camp, and then they picked 16 to travel down by bus, 9 hours or so, and then we played the US next day. Lost 2-0, and so having lost that first match, we just dug down, you know, that old Canadian grit that we all have. We never played together before, we were only together for 2 days, and it was just individual and you know, a group effort as being Canadians.
Oh, Central. We get a goal, and the Canadian team has taken an early lead by a score of 1-0. Loose ball now in front of the goal and played dangerously into the air. The United States able to head it away. Here's a chance for Canada. Shot on the ground, and he scored. And we believe it was Jerry Donnelly.
We let one in, and then we defended our. We defended like crazy. And there's a reason why Sue Simon, our goalkeeper right there, was named the MVP, because she stood on her head.
Bertini cuts it back. Donnelly, Geraldine Donnelly, and it's 3-2.
We've been going like this for a long time, but the current team has taken us to that next level. And it is just so exciting to watch them play. To think that we've come from where we were in '86 to winning Olympic gold medal. It's fantastic. It's where we wanted the game to be. Took us a long time to get there, but we're finally there. And now that we're there, we're not giving this up.
You know that we did a bronze and we had to climb even harder to go and get a gold medal. Yeah, we didn't stand still, we kept climbing. We seem to thrive and grow on when no one expects us. Everyone thinks we just landed there and we were lucky. If we stand on the top and just hold on to that mountain, I think that does the absolute opposite of what got us there.
This team has a unique ability to persevere. And when the going gets tough, that's when we show up.
Bring your own identity. Each of you are here for a f***ing reason.
And she scores!
Has an eye for goal. A strike lead on!
It is midsummer in Tokyo, Japan, as the city waits to welcome the Olympic Games. Here, a year later than planned, the Tokyo Games will finally begin in late July of 2021. Canada's women's national team arrive in Japan as back-to-back Olympic bronze medalists. They are now a team that is on a mission to change the color of their medal.
Dun, dun, dun. Honestly, heading into the tournament, I knew that this team was capable of something special. But with any tournament, there's probably 4 or 5 teams that can legitimately win it and sometimes need luck on your side. But I just knew this team was capable of something special. And the goal that we set to change the color of the medal, I really thought that was possible, and I thought that was a realistic goal. Because in Rio, we were disappointed with bronze, so I knew we were capable of more.
The team go undefeated in 3 group stage games and are next matched up against Brazil in the quarterfinal. With sudden elimination on the line, the 2 familiar foes battle for 120 minutes, but neither team can find a way to score. And so the stage is set for penalties, a theme that will be constantly present on Canada's march to the podium from here.
We had spent every single day in camp in the build-up to the Olympics practicing PKs for this moment. Mike had said, not many teams go on to win things without having to experience some sort of shootout or PKs in games.
We had studied the Euros that had just gone on previously and did some studying on the goalkeepers there and the shooters there, and things that worked and things that maybe didn't work to kind of warp it into my own toolbox and things that I felt confident doing and felt natural for me. Going in, I know the odds are not in my favor to make a save. I'm not supposed to step in there and make saves, and I know in a shootout, if I can make 1 save, I'm giving my team a good chance to win, and if I make 2 saves, then I've put them in a really good place.
Labbé qui se déplace de gauche à droite. André Saïs, c'est stoppé par Stéphanie Labbé.
C'est ce qu'il nous fallait. C'est ce qu'il nous fallait, Olivier.
Raphaël, et c'est stoppé
et c'est fait. Alors, le scénario de rêve pour Stéphanie Labbé, Olivier.
Extraordinaire.
Victory over Brazil sends Canada through to the semifinal, where they are now awaited by the United States, a team they have not beaten in 20 years. The match kicks off exactly as you would expect between Canada and USA. It is a battle that is being fiercely contested. Once more, the clock ticks steadily towards 90 minutes, with both teams unable to score. Until a foul on Deanne Rose presents the opportunity of a lifetime.
I knew I was going to be taking the PK should a PK happen in that game. I think Sink grabbed the ball and she grabbed it just to keep it away from any American players. I think with PKs it can turn into a bit of a mentality competition, and as a player stepping up to take a PK, if I have to grab it off the keeper or any sort of delay or interference with my process is going to affect me. So yeah, Sink just handed me the ball, said a few reassuring words, and I just walked up to the spot and kind of carried out my routine in the way I knew I could.
From London, Ontario, Jessie Fleming, 23 years of age, with a chance, a golden chance, to put Canada in front against the Americans in this Olympic semi-final. Fleming against France. Fleming scores! Canada leads in the semi-final. Maybe, just maybe, this is the night for Canada.
At last, after a wait of 20 years, Canada prevail over the Americans. And in doing so, they accomplish their stated mission of changing the color of their medal.
just like ultimate joy and like that sense of relief as well. Like finally we had done it. We'd played them so many times and tied them or lost by a goal or, you know, on occasion got destroyed. But to finally knock them off in a tournament, in a quarter or in a semifinal, was just like, we'd done it. Like we'd gotten the monkey off our back, and yeah, we knew we only had one more game to go.
Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to love for the power of love.
The sun rises over Tokyo on the morning of August 6th, 2021. It is a day that will go on to live forever in the history of Canadian football.
Sweden versus Canada, the 7th Women's Olympic football final kicks off to close out a thrilling 2.5 weeks of tournament football. Aslani, lovely little drop of the shoulder. Aslani's away here, pulls it across, and that's the opening goal for Blackstenius, the tormentor of Canada. Wow! VAR in the Olympic final, and Canada have a penalty. It's the Chelsea player, Jessie Fleming. Huge moment. It's Jessie Fleming. It's 1-1. Superbly taken.
The match ends level after 90 minutes, and nothing further can be decided in extra time. The Olympic final will be decided by penalties.
We don't train our butts off to have things come easy to us. We train so that when adversity hits, when our backs are against the wall, we can rise to the occasion and we can step up. And I really felt that in the shootout. I know at the beginning it kind of like swayed one direction, but I never stopped believing. I always knew that something was going to happen that was going to change it, whether it was going to be a save from me or a miss from Sweden, like if they were to hit the post or miss the goal. And I knew something was going to happen, and I just needed to continue to stay present so that if it was for me to step up and make a save, I would be ready when that time came.
The moment arrives as the shootout enters the 4th round of penalties. Trailing by a goal, Canada are kept alive by their veteran goalkeeper. And from there, the team's destiny now sits at the feet of 2 of its youngest players.
Deanne, to have the composure to step up. I mean, we were saying on the sideline, we're like, we hope she doesn't know that she needs to score this. Like maybe she's lost count of what the score is. And then obviously with Steph in goal, just clutch. And then Julia, crazy world.
I just remember like not thinking of anything at all. It was just like, shoot it like hard, like and low. Like I just remember thinking that, and yeah, and then I don't know, I just felt like everything kind of froze for a second. Like I remember when I shot it, I was like, oh my, like I was waiting to see what would happen.
Julia Grosso from Vancouver to win it for Canada! Canada came! Canada conquered! Canada gold at Tokyo 2020!
As Julia Grosso's penalty hits the roof of the net, scenes of wild celebration play out on the pitch. While back at home in Canada, a country rejoices from coast to coast.
Oh my God. I mean, just so many emotions. Being able to stand up there with some of my best friends who've, we've seen each other through the happiest of times and the darkest of times in our lives, and thought of my family and all the people back home that, because of COVID weren't able to be in the stands. And just little glimpses of the journey that it has been, and it's all led to here, to standing on top of the podium singing "O Canada." It's a moment I'll never forget.
Two months later, as Canadian colors begin to turn, pandemic restrictions have relented, and the Canadian team is able to come together in Ottawa to at last celebrate their victory on home soil.
It's A strategy, not B strategy.
We have some nice things, I think, tonight, but for all of us, it's a journey. And I think of Aaron and Christine, who've been wearing the badge for 20 years. And started in 2002 in Edmonton, the U19, what was called FIFA World Championship. Your hair was a little spiky at the time. Less of that.
Regrets.
And then there's some new players who are just on the team now, and you're Olympic gold medalists. All I say to you is your journey is special to you. And don't ever lose sight of that. It's with your family, it's with your friends. It could be the coach, it could be the player that you grew up with. It's your journey. You're an Olympic gold medalist. You're superstars. You're setting the stage for all Canadians for the future. Bev, thank you for everything you've done for the program, for leading the program. It's been 1 year. It's been a hell of a year, I think. Pretty good. Again, this is for you as an Olympic gold medalist, and you deserve this. So, Jess?
longlisted for the Ballon d'Or. And must I say, long, long overdue. We're so proud of you, Jessie, Sink, and Ashley unfortunately isn't here, but I could tell you I wanted to cry when I saw the list because it's just so amazing to see our team represented on a list that we should have been represented on a long time ago. So, congratulations.
On a cool Friday evening at TD Place, the team trains one last time ahead of Saturday's Celebration Tour kickoff match against New Zealand. The game will present a long-awaited opportunity to celebrate gold with the Canadian fans.
Yeah, I think firstly they're massively excited to play in front of home fans. I think this place will be buzzing this time tomorrow, and I think for anyone attending, they're just part of a moment in history to help this team celebrate gold. I think we are coming into this with, you know, that gold target on your back, and so we got to get used to that and playing as Olympic champions, but just can't wait to kick off. We had an amazing moment where the country was watching, but in reality in that stadium we didn't have our fans to share that moment with. So to have that moment with our fans and connect with our fans, that's why the players, you know, went to change the colour of the medal was to do it for our country in a time where it hasn't been easy. You know, we've gone through a pandemic and we brought hope to our country. Now we get to enjoy that moment.
As match day arrives and TD Place fills with a sea of Canada red and patriotic pride, it is finally time to welcome home the Olympic champions. One by one, the players are introduced to the adoring crowd, culminating in a coronation moment that has been 20 years in the making. The world's all-time leading goal scorer and Canada's all-time leader in appearances now stands before her fans as an Olympic champion. With the ceremony completed, the team now gets back to business.
First things first today, no matter what happens on the field, if things get rusty, if things kind of go a bit bumpy, we come back to 5 passes. That's what unites us, that's what brings us back to simplicity, 5 passes. Everything else, we just enjoy it. Have a smile on our faces today. This is what it's about. It's about celebrating with our fans and having fun. So no stress, just enjoy the day. Here we go. Here we go. Canada 3, 1, 2, 3!
No touches, strain, it's going to fall for Sinclair, takes the touch, should be a handball, and the penalty is awarded. Picks out her spot, and it's 1-0 for Canada! Jessie Fleming does it again! Rose does get ahead to it, bobbled again, there's Sinclair, wide open goal, it's Christine Sinclair! Centers and scoring is Adriana Leon! It's Janine Becky for 5, first up, rebound, and it is 5!
Canada put in a champion's performance, winning the game 5-1. As they wave goodbye to their fans in Ottawa, they now commence a 2-year odyssey that will take them around the world as they prepare for the FIFA Women's World Cup. Next time on Weekend.
You know that we did a bronze and we had to climb even harder to go and get a gold medal. Yet we didn't stand still, we kept climbing.
Itima helps it on. Becky, time to cut inside and go on! Oh, that's the quality there.
More people to claim it, headed on, and your equalizing goal!